I want to officially open and dedicate our Camp Agawam Museum. And one of the amazing things about being at Camp Agawam is that we're truly surrounded by history all the time. Anyone that's ever spent any time in a cabin at Camp Agawam, there's sort of the cabin plaques that are up that go back all the way to the 50s and 40s. And then there's maybe the less legal stuff under the shelf. But you're surrounded by that history. When you're in Governor Hall, there's photos and trophies going all the way back. One of the things I love about being in Mason Hall, which is our dining hall, is some of the things represented there. But you've got the plaques that are competitions against Monis going back to the 1920s. We actually did beat them once in riflery in 1920. But we've got those plaques, and so you're surrounded by this history. And we've got this beautiful new office that was so needed. I was just talking to Ensign Walter Gregg earlier today, and I was talking about how much better it is working in that office and how great it is. Yet there's still a nostalgia for the old office, and part of that was just the history we were surrounded by, sort of all the stuff that was in there that represented years past. And there's so much Agawam history that we don't have displayed. And there was this decision to preserve this building. And there is an old tradition of that. I know that the current wood shop used to be up here, and it's my understanding that the governor had an early football practice where his team moved it down the hill. But we've got a tradition of that, and we've got a tradition of preserving buildings. Sometimes waysides become trip rooms, things like that happen. But it's really amazing that we were able to save this building, and a lot of that does go to Lutz Fryer and to Capt. Estes. And Lutz put a ton of work into creating this space into what it is now. And I'm so appreciative, and I'm so happy to be standing here right now and to be able to have this as part of kind of our culture now and a place people can enjoy.
It's the rare occasion when we can actually get Cap to acknowledge something and be here to acknowledge it itself. So it's great that he is here, because truthfully, the person who drove this to happen is right there. Woo! Don't be going anywhere. Come up here. I actually want you to talk a little bit about the process, if you could, of moving this building from there to here.
It was quite a process. It was one of those things that everybody is so busy now that, you can't find people to do things. And I'd been on the phone with the people that moved in that office long before anybody else knew it. I was trying to get them here, in the fall to move it long before we started, and they couldn't come. And I called them several times, and finally, I think it was Labor Day weekend, I said, look, if this isn't out of here by Monday, they're going to tear it down. So they literally came over that Friday before Labor Day, and said, we can't move it all the way, but we can at least get it off the site. So they picked it up and moved it across the basketball court, and it sat in the field, right at the corner of the basketball court for the entire winter. And then when springtime rolled around, it was again, it's like, we open in a couple of weeks, we need to get this out of the middle of the field. So it was a lot of chasing to get that stuff to happen, but it really, we spent some time trying to find the right place for it, and I hope that you all realize that this really fits in like it's been here forever. We did spend a lot of time having other people come over and help us find the spot and smoothing things out and making sure that all happened. But we've got a very loyal bunch of people that we work with all the time that are really good to us, and they really come on a moment's notice.
It's really designed so it can both fit in as a museum and also in as a building that is functional for the camp community. There are a bunch of people that I think that need to be thanked. I do want to thank, obviously, Diehl. I want to thank Chief for his open-mindedness and how to develop what we want to do with the museum. I want to thank the Agawam Council, who somehow got persuaded not to tear this down and to allow us to move it over here. So that was really good. There are a couple of people who have worked really hard on projects inside. So Barbara Murphy helped with some of that. I do want to thank Commissioner Noah Faison, who has been here for the last 2 weeks with me, helping me set this up. And I think one of the things to remember about a museum is it's not static. It's something that's ever evolving. And so the displays that you see in there now are not going to stay there forever. They're going to change. You're cutting. There it is.
Yeah.